Good morning and welcome to Inside Texoma. I'm Melissa Kakarika, and today we're taking an inside look at Faith Mission and Faith Refuge. So I'm joined by CEO Steve Sparks. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Faith Mission. How long have you guys kind of been in the community here?
Well, 60 years.
Long time.
A long time. We've been serving men, women, and children, homeless men, women, and children since the early 1950s. Started out down on Lamar Street in an old vacant church and ended up at our location on 1300 Travis about 25 years ago. And then just 4 years ago, we opened up Faith Refuge for Women.
Let's talk a little bit about what you guys actually do there now in the current day.
Absolutely. Kind of divided up into three segments. We do rescue, which involves any kind of emergency offerings to the people who are homeless, whether it be clothing, overnight shelter, food, and sometimes we provide case management for those so that we can help them to get back on their feet again, which leads to the next thing that we do, which is rehabilitation. We offer programs that help people to get back on their feet again, rehabilitate from addictions to alcohol, drugs, or some other destructive behaviors. And then the third thing that we do is offer reintegration, which when our program directors and case managers help the folks, their main goal is to try to help them become self-sufficient, to find permanent housing for them, jobs, transportation, take care of medical or legal issues. And so we're working with the whole person to try to help them not only become safe inside our shelter, but also back on their feet so that they can be productive citizens again.
So what do you hear from them when they're either staying at the shelter or after they've gone about the work and how you've helped them?
Well, so many times they say thank you, obviously, because we get a chance to meet them at probably the lowest point in their life. And a lot of times whenever they take us up on our offer and really receive the help that we're willing to provide for them, they do get a chance to get back on their feet and to find work and permanent housing and those kind of things. And so we get people who come back all the time and say thank you. But even more than that, we get a lot of volunteers as a result of it too, because they like to come back and pay back to someone who's helped them.
Mm-hmm. I know there's a lot of support in the community for you
Absolutely.
guys too.
We just couldn't do it without them. We don't receive any federal or state funding at Faith Mission or Faith Refuge. And so all of our financial help comes from private donations and some private foundations and churches and businesses. And so all of that kind of help and support that we get comes just from this community and people who have ties to this community. And then all of our volunteers and all of the meals that are provided, we couldn't possibly do that without Wichita Falls and the surrounding area.
I know everyone's, of course, very happy to help.
Yes.
Now, if somebody out there maybe needs some help, what's the first step? How do they end up at your doorstep?
Well, they can come directly to the shelters. 1300 Travis is for men and families with children. And then our women's shelter, Faith Refuge, is at 710 East Hatton Road. And we serve women and women with children there. They can also call us, our main number downtown, 723-5663, and let us know how we can help them. Sometimes before they moved the bus station into town, we used to have to go all the way out to Jolly Truck Stop and pick folks up that got left there. But now the bus station's downtown, so we're within walking distance of the bus station. So most of the folks are able to find us. If you need to, flag down a police officer and he knows exactly where we are. But most people can find us very easily from wherever they're coming from in the city.
And anything people need to know before they come, it's kind of just open to anyone that needs the help, right?
Absolutely, anybody. We do require ID because we do background checks on all of our overnight clients. If they come in without any kind of identification, then we'll allow them to stay outside of the general population inside the building, and we'll give them 24 hours and we'll help them to go find some kind of a means of identification so that we can help them get started that way.
Okay, well, a lot going on at the shelter. As
Right.
always, you guys are always very busy, right?
That's correct. Very, very busy right now. This time of the year, brings a lot of people in because of the cold weather and because of the holidays, and so we're beginning to fill up the house pretty quick.
All right, well, we're going to talk a lot about some of the specific things you have going on coming
Sure.
up during this time of year, including the News Channel 6 coat drive and a whole lot more. So make sure you stay tuned to Inside Texoma. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. I'm with CEO of Faith Mission, Steve Sparks, as we talk about the organization. And one of the big things going on right now is the News Channel 6 Coat and Blanket Drive. We do it every year to benefit Faith Mission, right?
Yeah.
Many, many years.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that is so important to us because we gave away almost 800 coats last year. And just for the benefit of the viewers, so they'll know, we're careful to make sure those go to people who are not just taking them and selling them. We try to keep really good records and make sure that people who are taking those coats are using them. And it's just amazing to know that there's that many individuals out there who don't have coats in the wintertime. And we couldn't possibly afford to buy that many. So Channel 6 helping us out with this coat drive makes it possible for us to make a lot of people comfortable.
Yeah, now 800 coats, that's a big need
It
in the
is.
community, right?
Huge need. Children and adults.
Now this does go as well for gloves, blankets, anything warm really, because a lot of people don't have that.
That's correct. We would love for people to think in terms of anything that you would put on whenever you're leaving to go take a walk outside and it's 30 degrees outside. Gloves, something for your head, a scarf, socks. You know, socks are very, very important because most of our clients walk everywhere they go. So socks are important, and even underwear. We don't get a lot of underwear, and of course we don't give away used underwear if it's donated to us. So, you know, if you think in terms of that, then toboggans or earmuffs, anything like that would be very helpful.
Yeah, and people maybe don't realize how tough it can be to be out in the cold
That's
without
correct.
those items.
Absolutely. We do our very best to try to make sure that nobody is in the cold. And sometimes we know that there are people out there who don't make it to the shelter for whatever reason. And so we want to make sure that they have everything they can that's warm. We give away a lot of blankets during this time of the year, sleeping bags, you know, anything that we can help somebody survive.
Now how this works for those of you out there maybe who haven't heard, you bring your coats, your items, your scarves, whatever, to News Channel 6, right here on Seymour Highway, 3601 Seymour Highway. And then we also have a traveling box, so it kind of goes to different locations throughout the community. You can just watch News Channel 6 at any of our newscasts or go to newschannel6now.com to see where the box is. You just drop the items in the box.
Right.
We bring them to you, or they can even bring them to Faith Mission, right?
That's correct. Oh yeah, we're already starting to get a lot in, and we're appreciative of that. You can bring them to Faith Mission, or you could even bring them to Faith Refuge. We don't distribute them to the public from there, but we'll make sure they get to where they need to go.
Now let's talk about the distribution for those of you who are not donating but who do need the coat or the items.
Right. At Faith Refuge, 1300 Travis, if you'll just come to the main office there, come to the desk, they will ask you to sign in. You'll get a voucher, and you and your family members, if you have some, will go and receive the coat. We do all of the coat distribution and the winter gear distribution at Faith Mission. If they end up at Faith Refuge, we have coats and winter gear there for our clients, but just walk-ins, they'll need to come to Faith Mission.
Okay, and pretty much as long as you kind of go through that process there, you have a whole room of coats to choose
That's
from.
correct. They go back and try them on, pick out the one they want.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit just about why people should donate. I mean, we talked a little bit about the need, but this really is important. There's a lot of holiday and charity things going on, but this is an important one to keep in mind.
It is an important one because homelessness is a lot more prevalent than we might think in a city the size of Wichita Falls. We do a homeless count every year in January just to kind of determine how many people are being affected by this, and we literally go out and count every person that's sheltered and unsheltered, the ones that we can find. And this last count in January uncovered over 350 people who are homeless, depending on your definition of homelessness. If you talk to the Wichita Falls Independent School District, there are as many as 500 children that they would consider to be homeless or housing at risk, which means they might be living with an aunt or an uncle or couch hopping from one place to another or living in a motel or something like that. So homelessness is something that Wichita Falls really does need to take serious. And I'm so thankful that they do, and they make it possible for places like us to exist.
Absolutely, very important. So make sure you clean out your closets.
Absolutely.
Donate. And the coat drive with News Channel 6 goes until the end of December, but
Right.
I'm sure you guys accept all year round, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have places to store the coats during the summertime, and we bring them right back out when it gets cold again.
Well, I was down at Faith Mission. Our crew was down at Faith Mission when we first kicked off this coat drive on December 1st and got to talk to a couple people who were there trying on coats. So we're going to take a look at that right now. When temperatures start to drop, Faith Mission's clothing room gets busy with people looking for winter gear.
It's such a crucial time for our clients. The people that we get to serve every day don't have access to a lot of winter gear, and so coats are probably one of the most important things that we're able to distribute every year during the winter.
Last year, Faith Mission gave out about 800 coats to the less fortunate. Many Texomans, like Wayne Tubbs, have already headed there to get a coat for this winter.
I picked this one out. I mean, it's a good coat. They do good stuff for people.
Merwin Nichols went to Faith Mission knowing he'd be able to find a coat that fits.
I would like to have one. I have long arms. I need one. They have long enough to fit me.
Because there's such a big need, News Channel 6 is helping out by hosting our annual coat and blanket drive again this year. Starting today, we'll have weekly locations where you can drop off your coats and warm items. And we'll also have this box at News Channel 6. All you have to do is put your coat in the box and we'll take it to Faith Mission. Your donation will mean a lot to those who benefit from the coat drive.
We poor. We don't have any clothes or anything. We need something to wear.
Gloves, hats, socks, all of those kinds of things that we normally take for granted. There's a great need here in Wichita Falls for those kind of things.
Welcome back to Inside Texoma. We've been talking about Faith Mission and Faith Refuge with CEO Steve Sparks. Welcome back.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Well, we talked about a lot of the things that you do. One of the big things that's going to be coming up is the Career Academy. So tell us what that is.
Yeah, at Faith Refuge, we offer a 12-week academy for women who are trying to get back into the workforce again. The next semester starts on January 4th. If you want to register for that, you can call Faith Refuge, 322-HOPE, and they'll get you the information you need to sign up. And we would love to have any woman who 18 and above who is looking for an opportunity to get skills in computers, communication, applying for a job, filling out a resume. They can even get instruction and testing for their GED. So this is a great opportunity for any woman who is interested in trying to get back into the workforce again.
Now, does that last a couple weeks? What is the program?
12 weeks, 400 hours of instruction. They'll go to class on Monday through Thursdays from 8 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon.
Okay, and it's open to anyone in the community, not
That's
just
correct.
people who are
Anyone
at
in the community, free of charge. All the instructional materials are provided. We have fantastic instructors coming in from the community. We have business partners who come in and they'll sit down with the women and they'll do mock interviews with them, help them to know what it's like to go and apply for a job, help them to know how to dress, how to approach the interview. So there's really, really good practical skills that are taught there.
And then at the end, you kind of graduate. Is that how it works?
That's correct. We have a graduation, a great ceremony. They get a chance to tell their story and to thank the folks who helped them get there and get all the way through it. And then most of the time, most of those women have already applied for upwards of 20 jobs by the time they've gone through the academy. And a great, great percentage of them have jobs by the time they leave.
That's wonderful. And
Yeah.
Talk about how important that is to give them those skills to
Yeah,
succeed.
absolutely. You know, we just assume that we're born knowing how to apply for a job, but you know, that's a pretty scary proposition if you haven't done it in a while or if you've never done it before. And to think about putting together a resume and sitting down and actually trying to sell yourself to an employer so that they want to hire you, that's something that we think that we can help them with. And also, we can give them some skills, whether it be how to communicate, how to use a computer. We teach them some of the normal programs that you would want to know how to use. And then we also have financial management, budgeting, parenting classes, how to make proper choices, boundaries. And it's all focused around what we consider to be biblical principles on how to live your life and how to have good work ethic and provide for yourself.
Okay, and that's a lot about what Faith Mission is about, your mission, right?
Absolutely. Our mission is to provide Christ-centered programs and services that lead the homeless towards self-sufficiency.
Now, how long have you been doing the Career Academy?
This will be our 4th year. It started about 6 months after we opened Faith Refuge, and I believe we just graduated our 7th class.
Great.
Yeah.
So you do it a couple times a year, is that correct?
3 times a year, 3 semesters a year.
Okay, so if they can't make this upcoming one, they can always come to later.
If they can't do it in January, we'll have another class that starts in May, and if they can't make that one, we'll have another one that starts in September.
Great. Now, what kind of stories have you heard? How do these women feel, at that graduation ceremony when they come up?
Oh, it's just amazing. The ranges of their backgrounds is just astounding. We had a woman who graduated semester before last who had a master's degree in Spanish, and now she's working. Able to use that. She was able to gain confidence again that she could move back into the workforce, and as a result of the Career Academy, and now she's working and using her education to provide for herself. Women come from all over, not just Wichita Falls. We've had them come from Dallas, Fort Worth area. They hear about us and then they end up here, and their comments are always, "It saved my life. I don't know where I'd be without it. It restored my family." They're seeing their children or their parents again for the first time in years. So just can't put into words what a wonderful experience it's been to be able to provide this and then to be able to see the lives that changes.
Absolutely. Well, let's get the number out there again for those of you who want to take part.
It's 322-HOPE. I can't remember the numbers right off the top of my head. 4673, 322-4673, or if you can remember this easier, 322-HOPE.
I feel like I could remember 322-HOPE easier, but you never know.
Absolutely.
And if you can't make it in January, again, just kind of reach out later in the year to find out when the next one is.
Our director is Lisa Wester. She's a retired school administrator, so she knows about education, and she loves the women. And they know that. They feel that when they come in. So many of them leave there with confidence that they never had before.
And is there any deadline to sign up for that?
She'll probably stop taking applications the week before and start calling the ones who've applied. And if this class is not if the class is not full, she'll probably take applications right up to the last day.
All right. Make sure you get out there and sign up if you think you could benefit from the service.
You bet.
We'll be right back with more on Faith Mission and Faith Refuge. You're watching Inside Texoma on this Sunday morning. I'm Melissa Kakarika, joined by Faith Mission CEO Steve Sparks. We've told you a lot about what you have going on because you guys always have a lot going on.
Yes, we do.
We have even more to tell you about, though.
Absolutely.
In addition to the Coat Drive and the Career Academy, something kind of related to the Career Academy is something called Faith Enterprises. Tell us about it.
Faith Enterprises is about 2 years old. We started that because we found out that so many of the men who were coming to us who were recovering from whatever it was that got them into that situation in the first place needed to get back into the workforce. And many of them were at risk or hard to employ because of their criminal backgrounds or the fact that they've been out of the workforce for so long they just didn't know how to get back in. And so we created Faith Enterprises for 2 reasons. One was to give them some on-the-job training, and the second one was to give them some confidence by putting them back to work so that they would feel like that they were worthy of getting back into the workforce. And so what we do is we actually set up Faith Enterprises as a business, and we go out and we contract all kinds of work, whether it be lawn service, cutting off limbs and hauling them off. We do some minor repairs and maintenance and those kinds of things. And we also have a sign business where we teach the men how to create signs, and then we put them up for businesses. And so we give them the opportunity to earn money while they're in that program and also gain work experience. So by the time they graduate 5 months later, they've had the opportunity to save $2,000, $2,000 or $3,000, get the work experience, build a resume, and then we help them find a job once they graduate.
And that kind of goes all year round, just as people come into the shelter.
That's correct. Yes, ma'am. They start out in our New Beginnings program, which is the program to help them recover from whatever destructive behaviors led them there. And then after 5 months in that program, they graduate into Faith Enterprises, and they get to go to work and start building their resume and getting ready to get back out in the workforce again.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, now, if you want to support all these services over at Faith Mission, there's a lot of ways to do it. I know you also have your Faith Resale, right?
That's right. Faith Resale is at 4200 Jacksboro Highway. The old bingo hall, as a lot of people know it. All the proceeds from there go to help support all the things we've been talking about. You can go there and shop. You can bring your donations there, and then we'll turn those around and repurpose them. People will get some good deals there, and then and all that money will go to help support what we do.
So what type of items can people either donate or find there?
Oh, everything from furnishings to housewares, of course clothing, every kind of clothing you can imagine, and you name it. We even had the kitchen sink the other day when I was by there, so you can't imagine what folks have to donate, and we'll take it all. We don't take mattresses because of health reasons, but we take just about anything else.
Great. Any specific hours that people need?
We're open from 10 to 6, Monday through Saturday.
Okay, and again, that's over on Jacksboro Highway,
That's
the
correct.
old bingo hall.
Yeah.
All right, with this holiday season, you can also write some letters to people, right?
That's right. Of course, a lot of people send out Christmas cards, and sometimes they want to make donations in memory of or in honor of someone. And if they want, we can provide those in memory or in honor of cards for you to put inside your Christmas card and say, I made a donation in your honor or in someone's memory. Or you can just send those out separately. Or you can let us know that you want someone recognized that you've made a donation to, and we'll send that card to that person or their family and let them know that that donation came to Faith Mission, and we'll recognize them that way.
And probably can do that right up until the holidays, right?
Absolutely. All year long, and especially this time of the year.
Great. And once again, we already talked about it, but the News Channel 6 coat drive going on until the end of the month. So make sure you look for our traveling box, or of course, just come to the station on Seymour Highway, drop off all those warm weather items.
That's right.
Well, anything else you want to say to the community?
Absolutely. I always like to say thank you to Wichita Falls, my hometown, and the surrounding area. I know that so many of you have grown up with Faith Mission. You've heard about us, you know about us, and many of you have supported us. Thank you so much for that. We couldn't do it without you. Continue to pray for us. Continue to volunteer and support us financially if you can. And especially we covet your prayers, because the work that we do there is so important. It saves lives, and it also restores families, and it changes lives. So thank you.
And if you know someone that could benefit from the services, someone who's homeless, always reach out.
Refer them to us, and we'd love to help them.
All right. And phone number, website, how's the best way to do that?
723-5663 is our main number. Wichita Falls, faithmissionwf.org is our website. And then you can also reach the Faith Refuge at 322-HOPE.
All right, and the mission is down on Travis Street, right?
That's correct.
And the refuge is located?
710 East Hatton Road.
All right, so all the information you need to know right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thanks, Steve, so
Absolutely.
much.
My pleasure.
And thanks for tuning in to Inside Texoma.